Joshua Sherman. Welcome.
Hello, Max.
So like closing up, wrapping up. What are some of the things that you'd like to see improve? What are some of the plans for the future? What are some things that make some stuff better?
You want me to go? Okay. Well, we at the fire department, we have a very large spectrum of issues we have to deal with, and it's from building fires to someone's got a cat in a tree. I mean, we have to deal with all of it. And so the really great thing about working with the QRT is there was a preliminary work, getting things off the ground. Like I was involved. I felt like a lot.
Yeah.
And then since Billie's taken over, it's like, listen, Billie, like you definitely call me for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's kind of like curling. When you let go of that puck,
you just
just let it go, and they just keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what can we do as a department?
Sure.
And so the biggest things, which we were laughing about, so they want some kind of someone keeps saying Batmobile, but I think what it is, it's like some kind of a high-speed response vehicle.
With lights.
And
with
then
lights.
like
That's
superhero
Mindy's
uniforms.
request.
Shout out Mindy, yeah.
I think that I would call it equipment, like durable equipment, and things that would make your job easier. I mean,
sure.
I think that's kind of our focus at the fire department, is making sure that we create opportunities for you to continue doing what you're doing, because it's a benefit to us.
Right.
At the fire department and in the city of Portsmouth, I believe that the institution of QRT is beginning to, like I said, you start to change an individual's heart. And you start to make a difference there, and then you change their character, and then you change the organization and the social groups, and then it's starting to spill out into the city.
Yeah.
And so now we're getting a lot of, wanting people to open up a dialogue about what can the city do.
Sure.
So there's now, like in the next couple months, we have a lot of meetings and talks with some real leaders within the community that are like, hey, like we're starting to really kind of reap the benefits of people working hard in the community. And we're, the economic, the commerce and stuff is starting to build in the community, and it's kind of like everybody's like rah Portsmouth.
Sure.
But there's still a community of people that are living here that are dealing with addictions, that truthfully want to be a part of the community and part of the good things. And it's been so stigmatized.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we get into this thing? Like, we just want to help, we just want to do these things. So our goal right now is to continue to develop and facilitate programs like the QRT.
Yeah.
Find those little gaps and just fill them in with people that want to work, and then really start to get the recovery community kind of plugged in to, parts like the QRT. There's so many people that want to be a member of the QRT because they see how good it's doing, and because they think they're going to get a Batmobile. But they
maybe like a late model dirt track,
Right.
or something. I mean, that'd be culturally.
Or their
appropriate,
super cape. They want a super cape too.
Scooter.
Scooter.
So I think that's our goal. That's our next steps. To definitely continue to facilitate those programs, but at the same time, like it evolves. And the needs of the community evolve.
Sure.
And if we don't stay ahead of it or keep people kind of moving forward with it, then And I know you want the cars and stuff, and I think that's
cars and the lights.
The lights.
Yeah.
If we just have a set of lights that would go in the dash.
Like a constable light.
Yes.
Like pop that baby on top.
Right.
Yeah.
What about from your side of things, man? What are some things we need to continue to improve, or some plans you've got for the future?
I think a lot of the continuing to improve is like like recovery relations with the community, and as far as what we're out here doing. A lot of people don't know what it is, QRT, or, so I think a lot of that is just word of mouth, and seeing people, there's a lot of hope in this community. And like he said, even financially, they're building Portsmouth back up.
Sure.
Well, part of building us back up is saving those lives.
Absolutely.
Because they are our community
and
still.
that's an interesting perspective that I heard on the overdose crisis from Dale King, and I'd never considered it this way. Every time a person dies from a drug overdose, their lifetime earnings are taken out of the local economy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Which is crazy.
Yes.
I'd never considered that as like an impact of the opioid epidemic, because as a person in recovery, I think about the person that I knew from the rooms, or the person that I grew up with, or whatever it is, like very much on the personal side of things, and really hadn't taken that step back to look at broader societal impacts. You know, and that's one of those things of talking about, you know, it's like, well, when's the factory coming to, you know, the hundreds of jobs that's going to come? It's like, well, if there's no one alive,
they can't work.
you know, it's like that's a perspective I'd never heard, but something that he had shared.
Absolutely.
So,
I think that's huge.
anything else? Feel pretty good about what you do, man?
Absolutely. I love what we do, and I love my team. I have a very great team that works underneath me, and I love working with the EMS, and even with the Portsmouth Police Department, you know. Since I took over this position, just to see them change in response to how the firefighters act. You know, has been huge, because when I first started in this position, they was really still reluctant. You know, I'm put them in jail. But
well, you stick with what you know, right? You stick with what you know.
And so to see them change, because they are seeing the EMS change how they're dealing with, you know, the person on the scene, is really great. And they call too. They'll call our personal cell phones like, hey, we have somebody down here at the fire department, I mean at the police department, or this cop is over here at Kroger's and there's somebody there that needs help. And they'll call us in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter. They have our numbers as well now too. So it's a community issue, and it's being solved with every part of the community, and they just need to stay open-minded.
That collaboration piece, man, and I think that's the other part too. Is like, this is this is a national issue. Like we talked about those numbers, but like the approach locally is innovative and effective, and is collaborative between entities that, you know, sure, fire and police may see each other, but without like a collaboration like this, you're not going to bring in like the counselor social workers into that fold as often, right? And so I think that that's really kind of what sets this whole thing apart in our approach to try to address the issue. Any sort of closing thoughts or anything?
Hey, this has been fun.
Dude, I've had a great time.
And it's been great to see Billie. I haven't seen Billie in a while because she's doing such a good job.
Thank you.
And if she wasn't, I would see her all the time.
See her more often.
And so it's like coming into the principal's office. It's like
that's a win-win.
But it has been great, and the opportunity for us to come in and talk with you, and like you said, it's a word of mouth. But I think it is important that people understand, you know, the strives that that certain groups are taking in the community to really start to turn things around and make a difference. It's important.
It is, very much.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming. You've done great. I judge everything on how it went based off if I had a good time or not. And I've had a blast. So
I have too.
Thanks so much. Signing off with a thank you to the Adams Board for their financial support of the Quick Response Team. Couldn't do it without you guys. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Thanks.